Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Tarai region celebrates the festival of color Holi today. Dhanusha and Mahottari to celebrate tomorrow and the day after. Culture experts warn the festival losing its original charm. 2 youths dead in a clash between two groups at a restaurant in Lalitpur's Tholaiti. 18 in police custody for investigation. At least 9 Palestinians killed in an Israeli attack in Deir al-Bala. Death toll crosses 32,200. Several people trapped under the rubble. 3 hospitals under siege. And Nepal's national cricket team up against Ireland today in the first match of the T20 series. Skipper Rohit Paudel highlights on the importance of the match ahead of the Asia Cup qualifiers. Tarai region is celebrating the Festival of Colors, Holi today, a day after the hilly regions took part in the celebrations. Revelers enjoy the festival by putting colors and vermilion on one another, exchanging greetings and singing and dancing. The festival began as a form of celebration of the victory of truth over evil. The festival is also known as Fagua in Tarai region, and the famous Jogira performances are also put forth during the day. The western Tarai city, Nepalganj, that has a majority Awadh population, is full of colors today on the occasion of Holi. However, experts on the Awadhi culture have warned practices that were original to the festival before have been disappearing in recent time. The Ragira song used to be on loop at least a week ahead of Holi in Awadh community up until recent years. The song has been replaced in many parts these days.
खेलन पहली होली अवध माँ खेले राम लक्ष्मण की जोड़ी सिर धरे मुकुट खेले होरी अहिले रोजी रोजगार शिक्षा र व्यवसायले गर्दाखेरि व्यक्ति अलि बिजी भयो त्यसकारण यो पर्वलाई मनाइन्छ तर काही सांकेतिक रूपमा जस्तो पनि प्रतीक भइराखेको हुन्छ.
The older generation played local instruments like the dhol, mujura, harmonium, damfu and chali and sing to celebrate the arrival of Holi, which has been a rare sight these days. The older generation and culture experts express concern that the practice could be extinct in near future. The 15 days long Mithila Madhya Parikrama, an annual periodic journey of central part of the ancient Mithila, has concluded. Participants of the circumambulation event had left from Mithila Bihari temple in Dhanusha's Kachuri. They went through Dhola Dhanusha and Mahottari along with a dozen religious and historic sites in India's Bihar and finally concluded the trip at Janakpur Dham. The 15 days circumambulation covered 130 kilometers in distance. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces why do they like Holi. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
आपसमा भातृत्व निर्माण गर्ने र एकताका लागि चाहिँ एक आपसमा माया साटासाट गर्ने पर्वका रूपमा लिन्छ.
अरु बेला मान्छे सबै बिजी हुन्छ. अरु यो बेला यो होली फेस्टिभलमा चाहिँ हामी सबै आफ्नो फ्यामिलीहरु भेट हुन्छौं, रमाइलो हुन्छ.
साथीभाइहरुसँग जमघट भेटघाट हुने भएर एकदमै त्यही नै राम्रो लाग्छ.
सबै जनासँग भेटघाट हुने, खेल्ने, खाने, मिठो रमाउने वर्ष दिनको होली हो.
आत्मीयता बाड्ने, साटासाट गर्ने खालको चाहिँ यसको चाहिँ राम्रो पक्ष चाहिँ त्यो जस्तो लाग्छ.
एकअर्का साथीभाइहरु भेटेर टक्क कलर सलर गर्ने, रमाइलो गर्ने त्यही एउटा बेस्ट पार्ट लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ.
नाचगान, तपाईको मिठो मिठो पकवान खाएर बस्न रमाइलो गर्छन्, त्यो चीज चाहिँ रमाइलो पक्ष लाग्छ.
आपसी सद्भाव अब मेल मिलापको सन्देश पनि हो.
सबै जना रमाइलो गर्नुहुन्छ, हामीलाई त्यही खुसी लाग्छ.
आपसमा हामी सबैसँग भेटघाट हुन्छ, रमाइलो हुन्छ.
शत्रु नै भए तापनि यो होलीको दिनमा चाहिँ एउटा एकचोटी अङ्गमाल गरेर हामीले एउटा रङ लगाएर राम्रोसँग एउटा स्वागत गरिने पर्व हो.
रमाइलो पनि रंगीन पनि छ जीवन भन्ने चाहिँ एउटा सन्देश हो.
होली फेस्टिभल चाहिँ कलरको फेस्टिभल हो जसलाई चाहिँ हामीले ह्याप्पीनेसको रूपमा लिइरहेका हुन्छौं.
Two people have died as two groups clashed at a restaurant in Lalitpur's Tholaiti. The deceased have been identified as Panchthar's Pujan Rai and Dharan's Robus Rai. Lalitpur Police Chief Shekhar Khanal has said the two were attacked with knife. The two sides had quarrelled and fought while eating at a local restaurant. They were taken to a hospital after both sustained injuries. The body of Robus is being kept at Patan Hospital and Pujan's at Sumeru Hospital. Police have arrested 18 and begun investigation. At least 5 people have died and 2 others injured in an accident this morning involving a tractor in Acham's Melek rural municipality. The tractor was headed to Safebagar from Melek's Socha and met with the accident in Suyari. The deceased have been identified as Prem Dhami, Janak Dhami, Naur Bahadur Dhami, Rang Dhami and Janak Dhami. Injured are being treated at Bayalpatta Hospital. It's now time for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should be the priorities to diffuse the pressure facing by the Prime Minister? Your options are A. Keep parties in confidence, B. Work centered on public interest, and C. Get rid of double standard behavior. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. More than 1,200 individuals from across the country took part in an event in Lumbini where they experienced the life of a monk. In 23 days of the event, they learned the ways to incorporate the teachings of Buddha into their normal lives.
– 1,250 individuals from as far as Bhojpur district in the east and Kailali in the west gathered in Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha, to meditate and learn Buddha's teachings for 23 days. They attended the camp to become Shramner, a novice male monastic, which is the first step to entering into the life of a monk.
भगवान बुद्धले 2500 वर्ष अगाडि चाहिँ उहाँको जुन हाम्रो 1250 जना चाहिँ भन्टेहरू सबै चाहिँ नेपालमा आउँदाखेरिको चाहिँ यस्तो पदयात्रा भएको थियो, धम्मयात्रा भएको थियो। सो त्यही समयलाई नै लिएर चाहिँ यो पालि हामी चाहिँ धम्मयात्रा गर्दैछौँ।
บวชสามเณร 1,250 รูปนี้เป็นโครงการสำหรับการเผยแผ่พุทธศาสนาในประเทศเนปาลถ้าถามว่าทำไมมาจัดที่นี่อย่างที่เราทุกคนทราบกันดีว่าที่นี่เป็นที่ประสูติของสมเด็จพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้า
The participants' age ranged from 10 to 62 years old, and they learned the life of Buddha, Lumbini's history, the value of Buddha's teachings, and the difficulties that Buddha had to go through to achieve nirvana.
पहिलेदेखि मैले चाहिँ पञ्चशील पालन गरेको थिएँ। हाम्रो धर्म नै बौद्ध धर्म भन्ने हाम्रो चाहिँ मगर सङ्घको चाहिँ अब नीति थियो।
The profession of the participants in the camp ranged from farmers, teachers, artists, business persons, lawyers, media persons, and even medical doctors. They are allowed to continue in the path of being a monk, but also to return to their normal lives if they want. During the camp, they were taken to Lumbini, Bhairahwa, Devda, and Ramgram.
Time now for international update. Israeli forces have surrounded Al-Amal and Nasser hospitals in southern Gaza, while in the north, soldiers are continuing a deadly week-long raid on Al-Shifa medical complex. At least 9 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli attack on Deir al-Bala, with several people remaining trapped under rubble. Israel has informed the United Nations it will no longer approve UNRWA food convoys to North Gaza, where 70% of people face an extreme level of food scarcity. Mediation efforts to end the bloodshed in Gaza appear to be struggling, with a Hamas official saying that Israeli negotiators have rejected their latest proposals for a ceasefire. At least 32,226 Palestinians have been killed and 74,518 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7. The revised death toll in Israel from Hamas's October 7 attack stands at 1,139, with dozens taken captive. Riot police scuffled with hundreds of Jordanian demonstrators marching on the Israeli embassy in Amman in protest at Israel's latest storming of hospitals in Gaza and mounting civilian deaths. Protesters chanted slogans and waved Palestinian flags as police tried to push them back from the heavily fortified Israeli embassy, while witnesses said several demonstrators were beaten and many others arrested as they tried to break a heavy police cordon around the embassy. Eyewitnesses also said authorities fired tear gas to disperse demonstrators. The Israeli embassy, where protesters gathered daily, has long been a flashpoint of anti-Israel protest at times of turmoil in Gaza and the occupied Palestinian territories. Singapore's former Transport Minister S. Iswaran has been slapped with 8 new charges in a rare corruption case involving the city-state's ruling People's Action Party. The charges related to allegations that Iswaran obtained valuable goods worth about 18,956 Singapore dollars from an individual who had business dealings with the Transport Ministry, the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau (CPIB) said in a statement. The alleged gifts received by Iswaran include whiskey, golf clubs and a Brompton bicycle. The charges come after Iswaran was in January charged with 27 corruption offences, most of them related to his alleged receipt of gifts from Malaysian billionaire Ong Beng Seng. Ong, who played a key role in bringing the Singapore Grand Prix to the city-state in 2008, while Iswaran was in government, is alleged to have given the former minister tickets to West End shows and football matches in exchange for advancing his business interests. Iswaran, who stepped down as an MP and resigned from the PAP, denied the charges at the time and promised to clear his name. Corruption scandals are rare in Singapore, which is known for its strict laws and tough enforcement. Singapore was ranked the 5th least corrupt country in the 2023 Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index, following Norway, New Zealand, Finland and Denmark. Russia lowered its national flag on top of the Kremlin to half-mast yesterday as the country mourns victims that were killed in a terrorist attack at a concert hall in northwest Moscow Oblast on Friday. At least 137 people were killed in the terrorist attack, with over 180 others injured. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared March 24 a day of national mourning in Russia for those killed in the attack. The Red Square remains closed as Russian authorities shut down all access points to this iconic landmark in Moscow following the attack. Russians have been gathering outside the concert hall over the past 2 days, laying flowers, candles and toys in memory of the victims. Russian President Putin also expressed his condolences to the victims at a church where the presidential residence is located. Charred bodies were found on Friday in Haiti's capital streets after clashes between the national police and armed groups, leaving a gang leader dead. A police operation on Thursday killed the head of the Delmas 95 gang, Ernest Julme, known as T. Greg, a day after another gang leader was killed in an apparent resurgence of vigilante justice, police and sources confirmed. Peace justice officials were seen on Friday recovering a dozen charred bodies who were allegedly members of the gang led by T. Greg and burying them in a mass grave at a cemetery in Port-au-Prince. The Caribbean country has been gripped by violence since rival gangs unleashed a wave of attacks this month, including raids on police stations and the international airport. The conflict has killed thousands and displaced hundreds of thousands. Regional leaders are trying to form a transitional council, and Prime Minister Ariel Henry has promised to resign once it is set up. But he is currently stranded abroad, shut out of the country after making a visit to Kenya to discuss the deployment of an international security force. This has now been put on hold. 4 people got killed and at least 8 were injured when a race car drifted off-road and hit spectators at a rally in northern Hungary yesterday. Police said on their website that the race car drifted off the road and drove among spectators. The police said in a statement that the reason for the crash is not yet known. Multiple ambulances and rescue helicopters had arrived to the scene while the organizers halted the race. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Tarai region celebrates the festival of color Holi today. Dhanusha and Mahottari to celebrate tomorrow and the day after. Culture experts warn the festival losing its original charm. 2 youths dead in a clash between 2 groups at a restaurant in Lalitpur's Tholaiti. 18 in police custody for investigation. At least 9 Palestinians killed in an Israeli attack on Deir al-Bala. Death toll crosses 32,200. Several people trapped under the rubble. 3 hospitals under siege. And Nepal's national cricket team up against Ireland today in the first match of the T20 series. Skipper Rohit Paudel highlights the importance of the match ahead of the Asia Cup qualifiers. That's all for the moment. Holi Special continues here on Kantipur TV HD with our colleague Rubina Chetri.